Hello there, woven web enthusiasts. Today we have a story out of the New York Family Court from 1947. Judge Pankin writes that he is extremely disappointed that he must award Mary Jones spousal support, or alimony, in her divorce from Harold Jones. The judge writes, "The duties of a judge are not always pleasant. Sometimes a judge must do that which runs counter to what his conscience dictates. The matter before me is a situation in which I shall have to do that which in conscience I feel very difficult to justify. Insistence on the part of the petitioner, Mary Jones, to have her right to have support from her husband, Harold Jones, is tantamount to what Shakespeare has envisioned in his immortal play, The Merchant of Venice. Because she is married to the man, she insists on her pound of flesh, insists upon with a degree of arrogance which indicates a complete loss of sensibilities to the nicer things in life, or even to the ordinary dictates of morals. The facts of the case are, Mary and Harold were married in October of 1939 by way of a ceremonial marriage presided over, in the first instance, by a minister, evidently of the Protestant faith. To make the marriage more binding, they went through a subsequent marriage ceremony, which was performed by a priest of the church to which they belonged, to wit, the Roman Catholic Church. They lived together from time to time until Harold volunteered for service to his country in its armed forces, and they lived together after he had served his term of enlistment and was discharged from military service of his country. A child was born to Mary on or about the 15th of January, 1942. Mary is now 5 months pregnant with another child. There is no dispute between the respondent and the petitioner that he is not the father of either child. The fact is that the father of both children is another man. The problem with which I am confronted is one of law and morals, not one of fact. The law should reflect the morals of a period in which the law is to be enforced. Law for the guidance of man generally is the embodiment of the moral code accepted by man in his relationships individually and collective in his relationship to others as well as to the community. The accepted moral concepts run counter to what the law requires me to do. To require the respondent to answer for the support of the lady who calls herself his wife and who is his wife in the eyes of the law amounts to countenancing her conduct with another man while she is and was the wife of the respondent. Whatever order I make in this case is not to be construed to mean approval of her conduct. Men and women do get married and are unable to live together as husbands and wives because of incompatibility in character or even in sex. But that incompatibility is not a warrant to one or the other to violate the vows made at the time of the marriage ceremony and exact the other the obligations undertaken at the time of the marriage vows. Petitioner here is the wife of the respondent. As long as she is the wife and she is without financial ability to take care of herself, the responsibility is that of the husband and not of the public to maintain her. Exercising that sound discretion which judges must exercise in taking into consideration the fact that she is not wholly unemployed, cooking and keeping house for an aunt is employment. She may not be paid for it in dollars and cents, but she is paid for it in food and shelter. The order of the court, in view of all the circumstances which I must take into consideration in order to do justice between the parties, is he is to contribute $10 monthly. Well, the judge certainly makes clear his feelings of the woman. I plugged that $10 into an inflation calculator. Today, in 2023, that would be $138 a month. I took that to mean perhaps that's the lowest figure the judge could get away with in that situation. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I appreciate you listening.